Next question, Justin, directly. How you got placed in
Yeah,
Flipkart? What were the procedures? Next question. I mean, if
yeah,
you got when you got placed in Flipkart, and I know Flipkart is the company which comes for internship. So yeah. So how
yes.
was your work role in internship? How did you get the confirmation for your permanent job?
हमारे ऐसी ही वीडियोज हर हफ्ते मंडे और फ्राइडे को वीडियोज पाने के लिए चैनल को अभी लाइक करें, शेयर करें और सब्सक्राइब करें।
All right, welcome back once again to the Ignition Show, and with me right now, one of my senior friends, Justin Joshi, is present. And talking about Justin Joshi, he was my teammate, he was my senior teammate. And when I met him, I mean, I used to ask him silly, silly questions, and he used to answer me a lot. He used to answer me from scratch, and he was one of my best friends actually from the senior side. And he's really humble, he's polite, and he's right now working in Flipkart. And yeah, enough talking about Justin. I will ask Justin to give short introduction. Over to you, Justin.
Yeah, thanks, Mohit, for that warm welcome. So, yeah, as Mohit said, I joined the KI Racing in 2018, and
Yeah.
after that, Mohit joined, yeah, as a junior batch.
Yeah.
So, I had the privilege to mentor you and as learn along with you all about Baha SAE.
Yeah.
So, yeah, about myself. I did my BTech in mechanical engineering with specialization in automotive,
Hmm.
and I graduated last year.
Okay.
And during the placement process,
Hmm.
I sat for a Flipkart an interview.
Hmm.
First it was the test, so
Hmm.
I wrote the test, and
Hmm.
the interview was there. I got placed in that, and I've been working in Flipkart ever since. It's been 1 year now.
Hmm.
So that is
Okay.
my short introduction.
Okay, thank you for this short introduction, and thank you for coming to this show actually. And yeah, we
Yeah,
will
no
talk
problem.
about the interview experience, your written test experience, and we will also talk how to get confirmation in Flipkart, because Flipkart generally comes to VIT for internship actually. So you need to work there, and you need to get the confirmation. So yeah, we shall talk about
Correct.
this. So next question, Justin, directly, how you got placed in
Yeah.
Flipkart? What were the procedures during your
So
time?
yeah, understood, understood. So, placement process in VIT and in general, it can be a bit of intimidating process for
Hmm.
our batch when we're sitting for placements.
Hmm.
So, the main thing that we have to focus on cracking is the initial test, the
Hmm.
entrance test,
Hmm.
which will be in terms of aptitude or language or quants, cons, and you'll also have your core questions. So
Hmm.
for Flipkart, there were no core questions because the role is not aligned towards the core industry. It is more of a management side.
Okay, management.
So what they tested was language, aptitude, and quants.
Hmm.
So the key point that you have to understand is you have to until and unless you clear this test, the entrance
Hmm.
test, you can't move
Yeah.
forward to any other round, right?
Indeed. Indeed.
So you might be skilled, you have the skills, you can talk to the interviewer, you can like convince them that you are capable of working in this company. But until and unless you complete this test, you can't.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
make sure that you have got your basics right.
Hmm.
So that's what I did, and I practiced some for aptitude on this website called indiabix.com.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
So I could, practice my language,
Hmm.
quantitative, sorry,
Yeah. Quantitative. Yeah. Go on. Go on.
quantitative
Go
and
on.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these kind of questions we can practice on this website.
Hmm.
And finally, I wrote the test.
Hmm.
It was successful. Got shortlisted
Hmm.
for the interview.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's moving on to the interview process then.
Hmm. So means basically, if you clear your online test, then you will be
Correct.
asked for the interview. And if you go to the
Yes.
interview,
Yes.
if you have communication skills, if you have strong communication skills, you can convince them that you are the best person to get hired. But unless if you clear OT, then you will be allowed for the interview. This is the main thing. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
yeah, we have talked about the written part. Can you please discuss how was your interview experience in Flipkart?
Yeah. So I had two interviews.
Hmm.
They were kind of technical, kind of HR only. Both were a mix of HR and technical.
Okay.
And one interview, the interviewer took me through the CV that I had submitted to them. So they were
Hmm.
asking me what I had entered in the CV,
Hmm.
and what was my qualification, my BTech, what I did during the 4 years,
Hmm.
any projects that I undertook.
Hmm.
So through this, what I understood was they were trying to figure out our skills that we had developed over 4 years.
Okay.
So that can be in terms of leadership skills or management skills that they're
Hmm.
looking for that in the CV.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
what stood out for them, that I think what stood out for them is that I had spent a lot of time in managing the team, right?
Yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
in KI Racing, I was taking care of the presentations, the
Hmm.
promotional events for getting pitching our team
Hmm.
to the juniors
Yeah,
and to
exactly.
get funding. Yeah, and also there was this one opportunity in USA when we had gone. I was doing the business presentation.
Wow,
So
nice.
all of this stood out in the CV as what that you can demonstrate your management skills and your leadership
Hmm.
skills.
Hmm.
On top of that, they were looking for projects where you challenged your mind and you try to bring out some innovative ideas, right?
Hmm.
So they want to know how you're able to. They don't want you to see and do some random project and then complete it and get a degree. They want to know what is your analytical approach.
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
if suppose you faced a problem, so
Hmm.
then they'll you explain that to them and they'll bring back questions to you saying like, how did you approach that problem, how did you solve it? Suppose we had a logistic issue in our team, as you might remember.
Hmm.
We had to move our car from Pune to Hyderabad for the second competition, right?
Okay.
So they asked us what was the approach you took. So
Hmm.
some the decision is not individual, right? But
Hmm.
you have to make it seem in a way that you were the one taking the action,
Hmm.
right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
suppose, yeah, anyway, since you will be providing the inputs to the team,
Hmm.
so I explained that in a way that it was convincing the interviewer that we had taken a
Hmm.
very logical decision.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
this is the kind of stuff that they are looking for in your
Hmm.
CV and in your skill set.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, to summarize these things, I mean, as Justin told, Flipkart, he is working in Flipkart currently, and he is, working in a management. So basically, he was in our team, KI Racing, and in KI Racing, he not only used to work technically, but also used to manage things out, as he mentioned. And yeah, basically, the viewer must be looking for these skills in you, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have the leadership skills or not, if you have the management skills or not, and you try to convince them in your interview, and that, I guess,
Correct.
have you the edge for getting selected in Flipkart. So yeah, that's great. I mean, first time,
Correct.
I,
Correct.
I, I guess first time I got to know these things. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
interviewer do not ask these things in details, but yeah, in Flipkart they ask you. So yeah, this can be an important role for you. So next question. I mean, if
Yeah.
you got yeah, when you got placed in Flipkart, and I know Flipkart is the company which comes for internship. So yeah, so how
Yes.
was your work role in internship? How did you get the confirmation for your permanent job? So could you please share?
Yeah.
Yeah, over to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
Justin.
I can share that. So the internship was a duration of 5 months, and in
Okay.
that 5 months, we were expected to do a final project.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
in replacement for our PAT project.
Hmm.
Sorry, not PAT. Our capstone project.
Capstone project. Final project.
Capstone project. So what
Yeah.
happened is, instead of VIT giving us the result,
Hmm.
the company would share the result to VIT, and
Hmm.
we'd get the project mark and
Hmm.
our grade finally.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the company project, I was given a project on cost
Okay.
optimization,
Okay. Okay.
and I worked on initial few months. We would just be getting involved in the training,
Hmm.
just to understand how the company works,
Hmm.
all the terminologies, all the working processes.
Hmm.
The first 2 months were spent like that.
Justin, one
And then
question.
the next three, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Tell me about the cost optimization. I mean, tell us about the cost optimization. What is cost optimization?
Yeah, yeah.
If you are
So,
explaining this to the school students, so how will you explain?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite straightforward actually. We have to deliver shipments from
Hmm.
a delivery hub to a
Hmm.
customer, right?
Hmm.
And there's a certain cost involved in that.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
So the way we deliver this shipment to the customer
Hmm.
depends on the route you have taken, the
Yeah.
time you're taking for that,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
vehicle you're using,
Hmm.
and suppose the number of people who are going in that route.
Hmm.
So all of this is included in the cost.
Okay.
And the way you have to optimize it is to find out a model where you can bring down the numbers of each of these variables, so
Hmm.
that of total number as in your total cost will bring down, so it will reduce.
Okay. So basically, cost
Yeah,
optimization is the process where you cut down the cost as possible,
correct.
as
Yes,
much as possible. So
as much as possible.
this was your project, and you could manage to reduce the cost, right?
Yes.
And
So for that, actually, I could draw on some principles from our course that you might have also done, operations research, right?
exactly, operation research
So
happen.
in that, we had done a course on linear programming problem, right?
Exactly.
And the same I realized that we can use for this project. So I
Hmm.
implemented this model in Excel.
Hmm.
Excel has this tool called Solver.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
Solver was able to take our inputs for
Hmm.
cost, all
Hmm.
these variables. It could take the inputs and
Hmm.
automatically optimize the cost.
Okay.
So our job was easier. We just had to make it. Uh, we just had to provide the inputs, the variables, and present it in a very fashionable manner as
Hmm.
the optimized output.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So that was the end of our course, as in our project for cost optimization.
So
And
just.
once we finally presented this to the leadership,
Hmm.
that is the manager and the manager's manager. So they were quite satisfied and they were convinced that yes, this could work. This could be implemented on the ground level.
Hmm.
So then they went ahead with the another presentation to the senior leadership, and
Okay.
then even they were also convinced, which helped in the final conversion procedure for
Hmm.
giving me the PPO.
Means you have to work there as well. You don't need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make any excuses that you will somehow get the confirmation. You need to
yeah.
work there.
No,
It's not a
yes,
cakewalk.
yes.
Actually, there
No,
also you
no.
need to work. And as
It
Justin
is it
mentioned,
is a lot of hard work and dedication. So you have to make sure that you show the results. Even if you
hmm,
can't get the final result, you have to
hmm,
show them that you have done something. That is
hmm,
what they're looking for.
actually,
You can't dilly dally. You can't make excuses, right?
exactly.
That is the crux of this.
So yeah, so it was quite great talking to you, Justin. And this is the first part of the video. We'll bring the second part as well, where we talk about how is the life working in Flipkart. And in the next part, we also will discuss something which we'll reveal in the second part. So till then, be there with us. Subscribe to this channel, and I would like Justin to also do the same. I mean, share this to
Yeah,
subscribe.
guys,
Tell them.
subscribe to this channel. Yeah,
Yeah.
and press the bell icon. Yeah,
Thank you, Justin. We'll meet
thanks,
soon.
Mohan.
Okay.